Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Advice from a Call Center Geek, the call center and contact center podcast where we try to give you some actionable items that you can take back into your call center, improve the overall agent quality, improve the culture of your call center, and hopefully, improve the overall customer experience. I guess that's the whole point of why we're here. For those of you who don't know me by now, and if we have some new listeners, which I see that we do, which is kind of exciting, my name is Tom Laird. I am the CEO of Expedia Interaction Marketing. We are a 500-seat call center outsourcer located here in beautiful, wintry, little cold, but not too bad, Erie, Pennsylvania. Super exciting week, guys. I want to thank all of you. This has been a kind of a turn the page or kind of move to the next level of the podcast. So number one, the podcast literally in the last week has kind of blown up with people who have been listening. Number two, we started with 11. We're almost at 40 people, I believe, at the Advice from a Call Center Geek community. I'm asking all of you that are listening, please go over to the Advice from a Call Center Geek Facebook community. It's different than the Facebook page. Go to the Facebook page, you can get to the community. We're going to try to get some back and forth, not just me talking to you guys, but have all of us have a kind of one brain, right, that we can kind of help each other. No selling whatsoever. So if you are looking for how do I get programs, if you're a BPO, how do I get new business, that's not the right. Go to LinkedIn. The only thing that we're going to discuss is how we can improve contact center operations, any questions that people have on any technology, those kind of things. So no sales, not selling anything, just trying to help each other. Also, the YouTube page. Right, we have Advice from a Call Center Geek YouTube channel. And that's really gone well. Every single day I'm posting a brand new call center tip. I'm posting videos at night, posting a ton of stuff. So please, I would say that's the number one thing in 2020 that we're kind of focused on other than the community. So please go subscribe to that. All right, what I wanted to do today to start off kind of the new year is do a podcast on kind of the 10 things that I hear customers ask about outsourcing. So many of you have sent me emails and said, hey, Tom, we're looking to outsource. Should an outsourcer do this? Will they pay for this? What is the kind of the cost for outsourcing? Can you integrate into our systems? Do we have to use your systems? There's a ton of questions about it. And again, I'm not selling my services. You're not going to hear Expedia other than me saying that word right there. But this is for any of you that are looking to and wondering what an outsourcer does. What are some of the things that we pay for? What are some of the things that you guys are responsible for? How does that whole kind of connection and partnership work? So we've gone in with my staff. We talked about kind of the 10 things that we're constantly hearing, especially our client services guys that really deal with the clients every single day. So let's start with this. I think it's kind of interesting, and this should, if you've never outsourced before, maybe can open your eyes a little bit and inform you a little bit to kind of what an outsourcer does, or if you're ever looking to outsource, you can be a little bit more intelligent when you're talking to them. So number one, the number one thing that we really hear is, hey, we have our own CRM. Do we have to move to your CRM? What CRM do you use in your BPO at Expedia? Well, I guess I said the word again. But and the question is, we always say here at Expedia that we use the F word. Right? And it's not what you think, it's flexibility. So any CRM, and again, when I talk about Expedia, I'm really talking about all really high-end, especially USA BPOs, even offshore, nearshore BPOs. We can all use whatever you have. So whether it's Zendesk, Zoho, Salesforce, your own proprietary system, we can connect with that. If you say, hey, we need you to create a CRM for us, most of us can create a CRM for you. Or we could just say, hey, it's way cheaper if we just go to Zoho or Salesforce or Zendesk, and we can start that process for you. But we've done everything, and I know most outsourcers have, from utilizing our client systems to integrating with their proprietary systems to creating our own specific CRM for a client. So don't panic on that. They're real flexible. Everybody's pretty flexible. Number two is, how do you connect to our systems? Let's say we have our own proprietary system. We need your reps to be on it. How do we do that? And there's a lot of ways we can do that. We have some clients that literally just drop a router here, and we connect directly to their servers. The biggest way though is we just connect through VPN. So if you like the look of what your agents have, on their desktops in your internal center. Most outsourcers can just mimic that through through kind of a terminal server or a secure VPN, that we can actually pull up the exact screens and the exact software and the apps that you guys are working on in your internal center. So it's really just another extension of your business. So instead of having it really in your internal center, think of the outsourcer as kind of a different room, right? And that's about it, working off the same sheet of music. So number 3 is, what does the outsourcer pay for, and what do we have to pay for? And this varies, obviously, but in general, right, you're going to pay one flat fee. So that's kind of the cool thing about using any outsourcers, whether you're paying by the hour or by the minute. Most everybody's moving to the hour. There's still a lot of per minute charges though. And the outsourcer pretty much pays for everything. So everything from telephony to any type of screens that we're working on. And now if you have a CRM that you have, like if you have Salesforce, you're going to pay for that, and you're going to pay for that licensing so that you can kind of keep it under your umbrella. But other than that, from telephony to supervisors to QA to reporting to client services, we're going to handle all that. The outsourcer is going to handle all that. So you have one fee. So when you hear this, $26, $27 an hour, that's not just going to the rep. That's going for all the ancillary services that you guys are getting. So when you wrap all that up, it's actually most of the time a cost savings. So really the only thing that a internal center or somebody who's looking to outsource is going to pay for is your CRM licensing, and that can be negotiated, but paying for that. And then you're paying a flat fee, whether per minute or a per hourly charge for everything else. And then again, the call center is paying for all the staff. They're paying for all the QA staff. They're paying for client services. They're paying for the reporting. They're paying for IT. They're paying for all the telephony. They're paying for, any licensing fees that come via telephony as well. So there's a lot that goes to it, but really that should be all taken off your plate. Number 4, can we blind monitor, right? And the answer should be, if any reputable call center, should be yes, right? And it's pretty cool now. So like if you use a cloud-based provider like we use in Contact, we have the ability to basically, we give you a security profile that you log into, all right? So you get your own screen, you pull it up, and you have all of your reps, you have all the stats, everything that is going on in your program. You see the actual agents' names. You can double click on those agents. You can put your cell phone number in, you can put your desktop number in, you can put your conference number in, and that phone's gonna actually ring, and you can monitor that agent anywhere in the world. As long as you have the internet, you can blind monitor anywhere. And that's pretty much most call centers now. So that's a pretty cool feature. That's relatively new, last 5-7 years. Make sure that you're still doing some monitoring sessions with the BPO, with the outsourcer. They're gonna ask you to do that too, I would assume. So make sure that you're gonna do that too. But yeah, you should have the ability to blind monitor. That shouldn't even be a question. Number 5 is a big one, and that's, how does training work? Everybody has this question, especially if you've never outsourced before. And I'm going to just speak for us. We like to have the client involved as much as we possibly can through the process of training. So, and that's for the first initial train. So if we can have a trainer from the actual client here, we want that, right? We want them to do the training with us, with our trainers. We'll do a session before, a train the trainer session, and sometimes we'll handle it from there, but we really like it that first time if the client kind of does the training with us. At least do it through webinars and WebExes, which we can do as well. So if you're, if you can't afford to send somebody for 6 weeks to Pennsylvania, right, then we can do a WebEx or a Zoom meeting every single day where you guys are involved, or the client is involved. And then we definitely want them here for launch day. After that though, then we take care of it. And that's the other kind of cool thing with all outsourcing is, and we'll get into setup fees, but you'll pay for that class, but any attrition training moving forward, the outsourcer pays for, and we handle all the training from now. We might say, hey, can you guys help us with this little piece because that was a little confusing, or can you maybe be on the phone for this if we have any questions. But other than that, the outsourcer should be able to handle it from there. which goes to the next question, which is number 6, which is, are there setup fees? And normally the answer is yes, right? Normally there's an IT setup fee. Now, depending on the complexity of your program, that could be anywhere from $1,000 to 20 grand. Most of the time, like if I see that there's a growth or potential for growth, I try to get those setup fees. And I know most BPOs don't like to gouge on the setup fees. We want to, kind of work the partnership. So it's either at cost or a little over cost for setup fees. And then you will pay for training. Make sure, most call centers will do it at a reduced rate. So let's say you're paying $27 an hour in the US for your program. The training might be at $19 or $20 an hour. But be prepared to pay for training. Number 7, can we visit the center? Should we ask to visit the center? And the answer is absolutely yes. If you're going to put in a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of effort into your customer support, you want to go see where the actual agents are going to be. Make sure that you understand the culture, right? That you understand where they're supposed to, where they're actually going to be sitting. Is it a cool environment? Is it a fun environment? Does it meet and match your culture? When you go and you sit face to face with someone, it's a big difference than if you are just talking on the phone. So I would highly recommend. Excuse me, I had a phone call. Highly recommend going to visit. Number 8 is something you probably don't think about, but I think it's really important. Is we have questions like that I've gotten through advice from Call Center Geek, from not a consulting, but just questions that people have asked me, like, hey, should we really ask the call center to prove their PCI compliance? Like, should we get those forms and have them on file? And the answer is yes, right? I'm not going to say, I'm sure that there are some people that are faking PCIs, right? But the majority of call centers understand not only the benefit, but the risk of kind of shrimping on those, right? So yes, you should ask. If a call center says that they're PCI compliant, ask for their forms, ask for their certification, ask if they're a third party certified. HIPPA, same kind of thing. So any type of those certifications, yes, I would say you want to ask that, and no call center is going to kind of balk at that. If they do, then maybe you should be balking at using that. Number 9, should you negotiate the price with the call center? And the answer is yes and no. I mean, I think you should always negotiate. We're willing to work, with a back and forth on a negotiation, on a per hour or on a setup fee. I would tell you, negotiate before you walk, because the majority of the call centers, especially not, the bigger guys, if you have a smaller program and you're using those big guys, they're not going to negotiate with you very much. But if you're using, a smaller BPO, more entrepreneurial, they will make sure that they're doing that. And they'll talk and they'll have a back and forth with you so that you guys can work out something that I think is beneficial to both organizations. But I get frustrated when when we do talk, or when I do send a statement of work and we get ghosted, maybe because of price, I don't know. But at least have that back and forth, because I'm more than willing to negotiate if it's fair for both sides. And then number 10 is, hey Tom, how much do outsourcers charge? Like, I get that question all the time, right? Which makes sense. Now, we did a whole blog post, did a whole podcast on this as well. But here's the general gist of cost. In the US, you're going to pay anywhere from 24 at the very low end, and you're going to struggle to find 24. So let's say 25 to 29, $28 an hour. That's about the general pricing for a per hour. And if you do the math with that on the per minute, you're in that 58, 60 cents per minute kind of deal. So it's all the same thing. It's just kind of how you want it priced and build out. If you were going near shore, you can be anywhere from that $13 to $17 an hour range, from the Mexicos to the Belize to that kind of South America, Caribbean, those type of call centers. And then offshore, that's the wild card, right? You could literally be anywhere from $6 to $12, $13 an hour in the Philippines and India. Just all depending on kind of what you're looking for, what type of quality you're looking for. If you're looking more in the cities, if you're looking more out in the countryside, it's a little bit more of a wild card, especially, when you're talking about, now that's offshore, when we think of like those call center meccas, right? Like the Philippines in India, those type of places. Even Pakistan's getting there now. When you talk about like Western Europe, it's expensive, right? Western Europe's almost as much or more than the U.S. just because of what the economies and kind of how their cost structure and their country's costs are. So that's kind of the quick gist on cost as well. But I don't know if that helps. That's what I wanted to kind of start the year off on. These are a lot of the questions that we get. So I know that there's probably a lot of those questions that you guys have out there that I'd like to try to help you with. We're going to continue next week. I want to kind of get back into the probably the technology piece. Talk about some of the things that we're seeing. Again, I know I did a top 10 trends of 2020, but there's a couple things that I want to really hit on when it comes to AI, when it comes to speech analytics, that I want to talk through for next week. So again, thank you guys so much for all the follows. Again, go to the community page, Advice from a Call Center Geek community page. Connect. I will make you a member instantly. Make sure that you're going on our Advice from a Call Center Geek YouTube channel too. That's going to be a ton of stuff. Right? Literally, there's a new video every single day posted there, if not 2 videos. So it'll definitely be worth your while to check that out. And again, we're almost at 17,000 followers here, or downloads on the podcast. So you guys are rocking it. I really appreciate it. Anything that you want to hear, any questions you have for me, please let me know. Again, shoot me an email, tlaird@xbv.net, or just find me on LinkedIn. I'm an open, especially for my call center friends, I'm an open connector. So just connect with me and we can have a conversation. Have a great one, guys, and I'll talk to all of you next week.